Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Welcome to the original Rockin' Wrestling Radio Show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
You got it. Welcome into the program. Beyond Ringside Live is up and running on this Sunday, 14th day of December, 2014. We're almost halfway through this month. We're just under 2 weeks till Christmas. It's almost over, kids. The insanity. We'll make it. Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com. Chat room is back up and running. For those of you listening yesterday on Saturday Showcase, you know what I'm talking about. Our chat server, Chatango, experienced a direct attack on the internet, and they've been able to get everything straightened out and set and ready to go. So from that vantage point, glad to have our chat room back up and going. So for everybody listening on the web, drop on over. Stop in, say hi, let us know what's on your brain this evening. Like to welcome in tag team partner Mark MaBo Bowman.
Hi.
No, but I should be, and that would be a really good idea right now.
Sorry if you guys hear a little bit of background noise, more so than usual. Apparently my roommate's a lazy piece of crap and can't clean up after himself, can't rinse a dish, can't even put the dishes in the dishwasher. So I'm having to do it because we have we have a double sink. Both sides are piled up with dirty dishes. This guy's 34 years old, can't rinse a dish, can't take out the trash. Apparently, he didn't get off his mom's teat until he was like 25.
And in addition to listening through BeyondRingside.com, thank you to everybody catching us through TuneIn Radio, the TuneIn Radio app, mobile app, as well as Ustream Mobile. Just totally.
Did you say Tuner?
Tune in.
Tuner.
Tunein. One word, run it all together. Tanner. Get her done.
Tuner. That's a girl I dated in high school. That's what her nickname was. Tuner.
Tuner?
Tuner. I'll give you one guess why.
Because you could always hit a high C.
Nope, because she liked to eat tuna.
There you go.
She was a lesbian.
Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, slated to be joining us in just a few minutes. Also, the voice, Ted Guinness, coming back on board with us this week. If you've had a chance to drop by BeyondRingside.com, he has a brand new column up and definitely some good reading.
It's finally out of rehab, huh?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I'm the one who's supposed to be in rehab, hell.
Well, I'm just saying, Nestle Quick is a hell of a drug to snort, so.
Yeah, it is.
He was on the queue, boys and girls, and I don't mean the old Birmingham radio station.
And that's why I snort Ovaltine instead of Nestle Quick.
Easy there, Ralphie Parker.
Hey, at least it's nutritious.
Drink more Ovaltine. That bitch.
Hey.
Hey, that was the exact quote from the movie.
Well, you going to start quoting Debbie Does Dallas next? No, don't. I'm going to... Thank you to everybody for the Southern Baptist Conventioning for listening today. And I'll even learn how to say the word convention very soon.
Praise Jesus.
There you go. Got a loaded question. Lead-off question. Is it just me or is Ring of Honor on one hell of a run?
Oh, crap, I forgot to watch today. Sorry. For those of you who've been listening lately, you know that I start a new employment endeavor tomorrow. And so I've had to spend all day with the guinea pigs cleaning them. Well, not cleaning them. They could do that on their own. Well, not really, but it'd be cool if they could. But, yeah, I totally have not had a chance to watch Ring of Honor. My day has been spent cleaning up and spending time with the guinea pigs because I will be working a weekday job and off on the weekend. So I had to spend time with my children.
Well, I'll put it this way. Over the last
Well,
few
do that
weeks.
then. Put it that way.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Over the last few weeks,
Yeah.
their television show has been solid from start to finish. They haven't had a bad match on there. Period.
Well, I mean, but that's kind of par for the course for them, I guess. And I don't mean par like that's average for them. I mean, they have always been known as more of they actually are the wrestling. So for them to not turn out good shows would be unusual.
Well,
if you get what I'm saying.
Yep. And I wish you could have made it over last Sunday, because with everything going on with Final Battle 2014, did you get a chance to watch it?
No. Unless it's on the network for just $9.99, I usually don't pick it up. But I have read the results, saw what went down. So I was, I think, when we usually make predictions and we score each other, I think actually I came out ahead on those predictions.
There were no title changes.
Nope, no title changes. I honestly, my money would have been on R.D. Evans winning over Moose, but, of course, Nana sticking his nose in and getting revenge on R.D. Evans.
And Veda Scott, too.
I know. Ugh. So beautiful yet so deadly.
Aren't quite a few of them? I'm going to sit back and say this, seriously. Spoilers do not do, or the reviews do not do that show justice. I have watched the Fight Without Honor between Jay Briscoe and Adam Cole for the ROH World Championship 3 different times, because that match was just that damn good.
Oh, no doubt. And, like I said, I called it last week during the predictions, Hansen actually going over.
Yep.
Nobody thought he would.
I thought that Mark Briscoe was going to go over in that one, and it was a logical call, and we all have our reasons and our rationale.
Yeah, definitely it's a logical call, because you could go with, hold on, I got to turn on the dishwasher, sorry if it gets loud. It's a logical call if you wanted to pursue an angle with him and Jay, but that's been done so many times. I mean, how many, not recently, but Mark and Jay have feuded several times over.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised.
Well,
because they're putting a lot of stock in Hansen right now, and can you blame them?
No.
I mean, guy's a beast.
Cannot blame him in the least. Hansen is a hoss.
Oh, he's a beast and a half.
He's not beast mode. He's just beast.
He's just beast.
And not to mention,
call him Hank McCoy.
Yeah, there you go. That could work too.
Yeah.
What would be funny is to see Hansen and Eric Rowan. I think it is. Yeah.
It'd be like looking at, for those of you that remember the Highlanders, it'd be like looking at the Highlanders on steroids.
And then some. Now, also take into consideration, I'm going to lay this one out there. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly defeating Shelley and Kushida, the ROH World Tag Team title match.
That was a hell of a match.
Dude, that's an understatement.
Like, I heard that was nothing but just sick.
Before I go any further on that one, I'm going to lay this one out there. I've honestly got to put Cedric Alexander in the same classification as I put Dolph Ziggler.
Really? Explain.
Because Alexander has come so far from humble beginnings and then going through CNC Wrestle Factory and then going from there into the feud storyline with Decade.
Yeah.
The match with Roddy, where a lot of people felt that he really arrived in ROH as an individual star in that series against Roderick Strong. And there is nothing he's afraid to do. He will always put his body on the line for a match, the same way that Ziggler has, with the exception of the fact that Ziggler's held more championships in WWE than Alexander has in ROH. That's the only difference between the two in my book.
Well, that and Dolph Ziggler's white.
See, why gotta be a white thing?
I don't know if you picked up on that.
I'm talking expertise and talent and professionalism wise, you ding dong.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll say I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. I do believe, and this is my honest opinion, that Dolph has loads of charisma. I'm not saying Cedric's not charismatic. Not saying that in the least. I'm not looking to offend the guy at all. But as far as charismatic and can hold a crowd, I have to give the edge to Dolph.
On the microphone,
I
yeah.
think honestly, that's the one thing that I would say that would be the one thing that would keep Cedric Alexander from getting called up to the big time if he so chose to go. Would be he needs to work on his charisma.
Right.
Not saying he has no charisma. So nobody sit there and write me letters or cry and boo-hoo and,
don't get all butt hurt.
Hashtag SaveCedric.com or whatever. I'm just saying, to me, Dolph, 100 times more charismatic.
Right.
And that to me is what separates the two. That and Dolph's a little bit better shape. A little bit, not by much.
Not by much.
That's what I'm saying. That's the two things that I think are, and it's not much. Well, one of them is not even much holding Cedric Alexander back. One, work on your physical appearance. Two, you got to get better. I mean, it's kind of hard to, and anybody who knows Caprice Coleman, it's kind of hard to stay on par or even outshine Caprice Coleman when it comes to mic work.
True.
So he didn't really have a chance to be the voice during CNC Russell Factory.
Oh, so you got to get better on the microphone.
That's what I'm saying. His charisma and translating on the microphone.
Right, but you were checklisting and you didn't say on the microphone. You just said you got to get better.
Well, no, dude, I was talking about his charisma overall. So.
Oh, okay.
But his overall, when I say charisma, it covers everything from while you're in the ring and how you can tell a story, and also on the mic.
Okay.
That's what when I say charisma, I pull that whole shebang in. You know what I'm saying?
The whole shebang?
Charisma encompasses all that. No, not Johnny Gargano.
Thank you.
But no, that's just, to me, work on your physical appearance, because you're almost there. But as far as his mic skills, look at me, I can't even say it.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Yeah, his charisma, he just needs to work on that a lot more. I'm not saying he's like Daniel Bryan plain, like when Daniel Bryan first showed up in the WWE.
Right.
But he definitely could use some pointers in the charisma department.
Okay. ROH World Television Championship match: Jay Lethal against Matt Sydal. And I'm going to say this, with the exception of the ending, and I agree. I mean, I watched this match twice. I mean, I've gone through the pay-per-view itself twice. I paid $24.95 for it. You're damn right I'm going to enjoy it more than once. And I'm going to sit back and say thank you to Charter for doing everything necessary to get it right. You've heard me shred Charter on more than one occasions when things F up. Well, on that night, the girl who originally I spoke with, and she was very nice about making sure that my order was supposed to be going through. And the order didn't go through. Stop it.
Being a racist.
Just stop. Stop it. But the gentleman who followed up with me at 7:02 when I was able to...
that's cutting it close.
Yeah. And he was like, this is supposed to be showing up, but not on this channel. It's supposed to be on this channel. I said, well, I've got one box on this channel right now in high definition, and it's going through. And he's like, let me do some looking. Okay. Next thing I know, one television comes up, another television comes up, and we got all 4 TVs going. I'm happy. He said, well, you've already put it through on this box, so what I'm going to do is if it shows up again, I'm going to notate your account. If you get charged for it twice, they better not, because I'm noting your account that you only get charged for it once because you did pre-order it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Went above and beyond, and I'm greatly appreciative of the fact that somebody was willing to do the right thing. So on this occasion, the gentleman at Charter got it right and corrected the malfluctuation of the girl who can't get it right. Yeah. And I'm not saying that. Say what?
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Eddie, hey, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie is slowly turning into a feline, isn't he?
You don't remember Peanut from Jeff Dunham?
Oh, you mean meow? I thought you said meow.
Yeah, I did the other and just was doing it while I was changing position in my chair, so it didn't come across the way I wanted it to.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying meow.
And I've got to sit back and say this: if there was one MVP performance, I wasn't happy with the ending because of the zero tolerance problem that he was having with, the situation with Nigel McGuinness. The Elgin Ciampa match, that one would have with the exception of the ending and the distraction, that would have been worth the price of the pay-per-view alone. I mean, look, I appreciate the match that the Young Bucks and ACH turned in with the Addiction and Cedric Alexander. They did a great job. They really did. And then, of course, I'm just wondering how many times in one match the fans can chant super kick. But
the Bucks are known for that super kick, yo.
Well, of course, yo. Yo, yo.
Oh, don't be mad.
Yo, yo, yo. Okay.
Pop your rollies and check your 40s.
There you go.
Pop your 40s and check your rollies. It's crime time.
That's why I went with it, to see if he'd pick up on it.
Oh, of course, dude. I used to love that entrance. Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Now, the version or the edition of ROH TV, which technically would be their go home for final battle from last week. I love the way they staged everything. I love the way they put it all together, the continuity they had for the show, building up the storylines, continuing to tell the story. And I'm sitting back going, if this is going to be the go home for the pay-per-view, they're doing it right, and it's appreciated. But I'm also going to sit back and say it also had me questioning which way the ROH television product was going to go this week. Because they haven't had enough time to start putting stuff together for a Road Rage edition. That's one more week. So, they bring out Tag Wars. Damn. No inflection necessary. I'm going to do this, and you can mute the telephone if you want to, but I'm going to do this. They're building a Fatal 4-Way elimination for the ROH tag straps against Red Dragon, Fish, and O'Reilly. Their opening match last night, Jay Lethal and Jay Diesel with Truth Martini taking on the Briscoe brothers. This match would have been a main event anywhere in my book. And they were on it. Do not blink during this match. Another one that lived up to the hype. I'm not telling you who won, unless you want me to.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Briscoes went over Lethal and Diesel. Believe it or not.
Why wouldn't I? Jay Diesel, as long as it don't become the J&J Wrestle Factory.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That team's not as experienced enough. It would be, it would have been ridiculous for them to lose unless there was some kind of interference or anything.
Now, remember, Truth Martini's out there.
Oh, shit.
Hey, what'd you forget?
Oh, sorry, No. Oh, my God, I thought I just spilled water all over my comic books.
Oh.
That's why I didn't. Yeah, I do apologize for that, folks.
Don't worry about it, dude.
Whew. I didn't think y'all heard it either.
There were comic books involved. Don't worry about it. No, because think about it like this. With Jay having, and they mentioned more than one occasion, so obviously Jay is still the ROH World Champion. Now think about it. There was an episode of Beyond Ringside Live where you were here, Mark James was here, and I can't remember who else was on with us who was also named Mark. But it's like I asked the question: how many marks how many marks can you have on a wrestling radio show?
Trust me, every wrestling radio show has marks on it.
No kidding.
Oh!
And some of them are actually, no, they're not. Sorry, there's just some stuff out there that I can't bring myself to listen to more than 5 seconds. Kind of like, and you're gonna die laughing on this one. A friend of mine from my day job is giving me grief due to the fact that I've never watched in its entirety Dumb and Dumber. So I'm sitting back, I've got Netflix going, And lo and behold, I decided to pull up Dumb and Dumber. So as I promised him I would try to watch it, I couldn't make it 5 minutes into the movie. I'm sorry.
Why?
It's just, I'm sorry. I like dry comedy. I like dry wit. I like dry humor. I like stupid stuff too. I mean, hell, one of my favorite movies of all time is Smokey and the Bandit, Caddyshack, and Cannonball Run.
Oh, Cannonball Run's awesome.
But I'm sorry, Dumb and Dumber was just horrid.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's Jim Carrey being stupid.
Figured he could have been hosting a CNN broadcast with that character. But continuing, I just had to ask, it's like brought up how many marks on a wrestling radio show. How many J's can you have in one match?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, 3 out of 4. And, of course, the fourth man in there was a mark.
No, don't let Chicken hear you say that.
Oh, dude, Briscoes are cool as hell in my book. And like I said, I will tell you this, when you watch this match, don't blink, because it was that damn good. And then go from there, the second match on the card in Tag Wars, the setup for it. BJ Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs representing the Decade, taking on Kaz and Daniels.
Oh.
Yeah. Yet again, don't blink. And amazingly enough, and I thought for sure, dude, that Whitmer and Jacobs were going to go over. Because when you have the Briscoes going over and you've got a heel tag team, you've got this. I'm trying to apply logic on this, and sometimes logic doesn't work. I thought for sure Whitmer and Jacobs were going to go over. So I'm sitting back and going, okay, we've got Fish and O'Reilly, we've got Decade, we're going to have the Briscoes, and who's going to be in the third match? Lo and behold, they put Kaz and Daniels over. And you could almost call it a come-from-behind victory on that race. But by the same token, once again, that's a match that in my book could main event just about anywhere. 4 tremendous stars. And noticing the fact that Whitmer has come away from the excessively harsh attitude that he's been displaying in a lot of his promos. Gruff, yes. Harsh, no. And there's a difference in my book. Because I'm all in favor of a heel being a heel. But when everything starts going off into a certain realm and delivered in a certain style to where most of the fan base won't wrap their head around it and just turn it off, that's not good. And that's where Whitmer was going with a lot of his stuff. Well, he's taking it a little bit lighter. He's still, like I said, he's still gruff. He's still being BJ Whitmer, the jerk. But you know something? It was much better. And it made the match that much more watchable because I'm not being overly critical of the way BJ was handling certain things. Whitmer and Jacobs make a good combination.
Have for years.
Uh-huh. And Kaz and Daniels, what can you say?
I can say flux capacitor.
Well, that works. Actually, that worked 3 times. The original and 2 sequels. And here we go on the other fun part.
What's that gunga in?
The third match, ROH TV from this weekend.
Uh-huh.
The Young Bucks. Super kick. I get tickled at that. And they were doing everything from the Bullet Club gimmick to the click gimmick to every other hand signal you could throw out there short of flipping off a camera. And they were taking on a combination that is like, I'm sitting back going, this is a Kodak moment. ACH and Matt Sydal.
Oh, that's a flippy-dippy team right there, buddy.
Think about this one. And they put this one batting cleanup. So you've got one of the most energetic tag teams out there, internationally known in the Young Bucks, the Jackson Brothers, taking on a team that I don't think has teamed up before, but damn sure needs to team up again. And they will, hint, hint. Sydal and ACH went over the Young Bucks. And
really?
Yeah. And here's the funny part.
Well, let me ask you this now. You said, is this like a tournament or something?
All 3 matches. The winner of each of these 3 matches goes on to, into a fatal 4-way elimination or 4-way elimination tag war against Red Dragon for the tag team titles. Okay,
I'm following now. See, probably what it was is because the Jacksons, wouldn't be available for the commitment.
Right.
So,
but see, by the same token, Whitmer and Jacobs definitely would be. That way you'd have 2 heel teams and 2 face teams in there. Now, technically, you've got 3 face teams and 1 heel team.
But here's the thing. When has ROH ever subscribed to face seal.
Traditional philosophy.
Yeah.
But see, also, that's one of the things that I have a problem with. If you put, now, it depends on the show lineup itself, because this is something that I laid out there about the last Peach State Wrestling Alliance show a couple of weeks ago, the 29th of November, is because the fact that they had 2 face matchups on the card. One in lead. The second match of the night really didn't count because that was a throw together, and everybody knew that. They were coming out of the EC3. Still got to get in touch with them, don't I?
It would be nice.
Hey, I've been busy and not mooning my boss.
I never said I was going to moon.
Did it? In the words of Captain America, son, just don't.
I never said I wasn't going to moon.
Okay. But I will say this, when you get a chance to watch it, and for everybody listening, if you get a chance to see this week's episode of Ring of Honor Television, like I said, you will really enjoy this, especially if you are a fan of tag team wrestling, plain and damn simple. Because, we've had all up and down the network questions and thoughts about the state of tag team wrestling in different companies. And one of the things that I've always appreciated about Ring of Honor is the fact that they do know how to keep tag team wrestling at the forefront. And on this episode, and then get ready to go into the 4-way tag war, oh hell yeah, Ring of Honor has done it again in my book. So if one of my favorite broadcasters of all time, if I can steal his one of his phrases when it comes to tag team wrestling, Ring of Honor is en fuego. Thank you, Dan Patrick, wherever you are, Milford, Connecticut. And like I said, all you got to do is let me know if you want to catch Final Battle. Come over, dude. So I got the pay-per-view. So those who sit back and say, well, you didn't, I also pay my $9.99, but I'm not calling TLC a pay-per-view because it's all on the WWE Network.
Really? What was that again? Oh, okay. And how much does it cost for that one? $9.98?
Okay.
Bork.
Yeah, no, that's where I was going, the chef. From freaking Muppet. See, I said Frickin. However, but... yeah, I know. Every once in a while, I'll botch it up. Gee, what a surprise. I'm breathing. I'm going to botch it up. I'm one of the few people I know that when I'm dead, I'll botch it up. Leave me alone. But, yeah, I can't call it a pay-per-view anymore. It's all inclusive on the network. It's like when you go on a cruise ship, you paid for your ticket. Well, guess what? Kiss is performing on the Lido deck. You can't call that a special event because it's in your ticket price.
I don't know. I guess you could.
You could call it an added attraction. You could call it a live event during the cruise, but I'm not.
No. It's not an event
unless Wicked Nemesis. Unless Wick's on the cruise. Yeah, where the hell is he today?
My question is, do you think if he ever goes swimming in a pool and the Mohawk comes up, starts cutting through the water like Jaws? Exactly. Do you think anybody just jumps out and runs? Cough button.
Where did I put that song? There it is. Okay. Tell you what, hang with us, folks. We're going to the top of the hour break, and we will be back in just a minute. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
This is the 7-figure deal, Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne.
And I'm the Cause, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. See, we do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman Big Daddy Cool Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the showcase. Bye for now.
Hey, half-heads, it's a 3-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scrap Iron Adam Pierce. And just like me, you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Hey, this is Angel Orsini, former MMA fighter, professional wrestler. You can check me out at www.theangelorsini.com, and you are locked in on the Real Talk Radio, Beyond Ringside.
Got it. The party continues. Welcome back into the program. Beyond Ringside Live on the air on this 14th day of December. 6 minutes after the top of the hour. Welcoming back in, Mark MaBo Bowman.
Where your 4th case of VD is free.
And you got to follow him on that one. And like to welcome back longtime friend of the family, BR alumni, the voice, Ted Guinness. What's going on, buddy?
Other than trying to figure out how to follow Bowman, which I can never do. I just flipped on TNT, and they're playing the end of Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and Fred was struggling to go up Mountain Doom. That's how I feel when I have to get ready to go to work.
I kind of feel like the Green Bay Packers right now. What just happened?
Oh, what did happen to the Green Bay Packers? Because I work with a Packers fan, so any ammunition I can go in with is always welcome.
Oh, it was right near the end of the game. Lo and behold, it was supposed to be Lacey running it in. Lacey dropped it, picked it back, or Lacey running it out of the end zone, dropped it, picked it back up, dropped it. It still got turned into a safety, though. Bad.
Fantastic.
And that was the one that clinched the game. Packers lost today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. Now, for everybody listening, and everybody on the replay side as well, through Podomatic, through iTunes, through Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, want to remind everybody, drop by beyondringside.com if you have not had a chance to. Right near the top section, or in that top section, you'll see a link to the brand new edition of The Pint, a column that originally set out to be weekly, but because of real life circumstances, which I'm the first one to understand, life happens, we're doing it on Ted is doing it on a catch-as-catch-can basis. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's always great reading. And this is kind of a revisitation to a degree for us, but all of us have managed to bring it up in one capacity or another about the same time that we just as your column was coming in. So it's like, wow, everybody is on the same page, which is truly a scary thought for me. And one of the things that you brought up, which was one of the ideas that we were hitting, is the court of public opinion and how fierce, but at the same time, how silent it can be on certain things. And on this one, I've intentionally stayed away from social media during the 2 interviews by CM Punk with Colt Cabana, as well as the Austin McMahon gimmick on the WWE Network and Podcast One. I don't really have time to listen to other shows because of my work schedule. And lo and behold, I did make it a point to listen to the first episode with Cabana and Punk. And I did watch on the network for blanky blank the Stone Cold podcast, which is a lie. That's not a podcast. That was a television show. A podcast is not live, kids. A podcast is logistically speaking, Ted, what has been the major sticking point that just has really just jumped up and popped you in the nose?
Well, I think I covered the two major sticking points that really stink up this whole thing, and that is the fact that, for multiple months going to the in-house physician saying, look, I have this growth on my back. You've popped other people that have had less, get this thing out of me, and the constant refusal, whether it be, in Punk's word, laziness or, whatever excuse was given, oh, you have to wrestle tonight and it could cause a stitch. And basically ignoring a health concern in an industry where bacteria and infections happen all the time, go to a second opinion and within 30 seconds have it being diagnosed as a full-blown staph infection with MRSA. That right there, I think that was the biggest sticking point, because that really blows open the myth of the whole wellness program. And yeah, it helped MVP when he got caught with the thing with his heart. But in this case, wellness can only be applied if the doctors that are responsible for providing that care actually do their job. In this case, obviously it wasn't. The second thing that really jumped out at me, and I wanted to hold judgment until I heard if Vince would come out and touch on this, and unfortunately for him, he did on the Austin show. But firing Punk on his wedding day, and he laid it out in the podcast, and I put that in my column that 2 days before he was getting married, he got a text from Triple H. Hey, you got time to talk? Responded, I'm getting married in a couple of days. I'll talk to you as soon as I get back, and could you reissue me my royalty check that I've been asking about for months? 2 days later, he gets an overnight package with his termination papers dated the day before on his wedding day.
Right.
So for Vince to say that, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, that's complete and total bull. Because, even in a court of law, that's more than circumstantial. That's actually, there is prudence that could be looked at as malicious termination.
Very true.
Those two things jumping out at me, the way that they handled the whole situation for WWE's end, and then for Vince to come on and say, well, Punk had a communication problem. You blame people for the flaws that you have in yourself to deflect attention from those flaws and to put it on other people. And that's exactly what Vince just did.
Now, MaBo, I'm going to ask you the same question. Pick two things, not necessarily the same ones, or pick two things that out of this entire circumstance that have just really just stuck out to you the whole time.
I don't know. To me, I guess maybe the clear, just lack of sympathy for, and I get it. Everybody, it's a tough business, and you're expected to do more, especially for the fans, especially for those fans who pay to see you and all that goodness. But I guess maybe the complete lack of caring, I guess, on the front office's part about the state of CM Punk and, and all his qualms and issues. And I would say, firing the dude on his wedding day, when that came to light, I would say that. And then the fact that, along with the fact that Vince tried to, said that, he apologized, but it was on the network just to kind of, I guess, help promote the Austin live broadcast. Instead of, if he really wanted to apologize, he could have just called the man and said, hey, he could have called him on the air. Do you know how much that would have been?
No.
But he couldn't even call the guy and say, hey, sorry, let's talk, whatever. I don't know, I guess it's just, the lack of apathy, maybe? I don't know.
Or lack of empathy?
Empathy, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm digging in my nose at the same time.
It's quite okay.
I hit my brain.
Try to stimulate your brain?
No, I hit it by accident, and that causes the glitch.
There you go. On my side of the coin, two of the things that have really just jumped out at me are, number one, the whole resolute fact that, once again, Vince McMahon's insufferable, gigantic, and anything but logical ego jumps to the forefront. Because the conversation's been held on Saturday Showcase, especially between myself and Hitman, where we're talking about the Hall of Fame. Hashtag Randy Savage, HOF. Hashtag Rick Rude, HOF. I hope I get both of them this year. I'm tired of waiting. They're both overdue. WWE, regardless of the fact that it's a publicly traded company, regardless of the fact that Vince has a board of directors, regardless of the factor of all the advertisers, regardless of the fact of everything that's involved, it's all about Vince. It's all about his ego. It's his company. Now, there is a part of me that sits back and says, yeah, so what? And there's another part of me that says, he proved all over again on the Austin show that he is not completely in touch with his product. Nor is he in touch with his fan base. For me, it's very simple. And there's another side on this one also. Remember, in every circumstance, there's Punk's side, Vince's side, and then there's the truth. Always. Just like in any argument. Because everyone on every side of a story is going to slant it and bias it in their own personal direction. Nobody's just going to come right out and say, I effed up, it's my fault. It's rare. Especially when television cameras are involved. I disagree with, by the way, for the record, I did hear one little thing out of the second one that I got to jump up and say something about. If the no-compete is in your contract and you sign the contract, you herewith agree to the non-compete. So yes, you can enforce a non-compete on contract and independent contract labor because you agreed to it in advance. So for whatever liberal nutjob judge decided to award Punk this little thing on that one, you're an idiot. You don't think about the simple fact of life that, what was this? Cool. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
Okay, apparently they just threw food at Eddie and he got all distracted.
No, it was actually one of my paychecks from the day job. I'm going, ooh, money. Where'd this come from?
Ooh, well, there you go.
I know it's the check. I saw it. However, and this is something
the no-compete wasn't in his contract. The no-compete was put in his termination papers as an afterthought. So we don't know if he agreed to it or not.
Right.
Secondly, any decent lawyer can get anyone out of a no-compete because you legally cannot keep somebody from practicing their craft or earning a living. It is the whole concept of no-compete is it's almost the same as the hold no harm rules that a lot of professional wrestling indie promoters will make you sign. Those don't hold up in court at all. You're just signing a piece of paper that means nothing. So neither of those to me mean anything.
Well, let me give you this one. The primary thing about the non-compete in place when WWE issues contracts and or termination events, because if you remember correctly, it's been out there for a while. Brock Lesnar, one of Brock's contracts is floating around out there because it was leaked. And it says in the original agreement, no television or pay-per-view appearances until X amount of days have passed. He had a 60-day no or 90-day no compete or something like that. The main thing about it is he could do house shows till he's blue in the face. You just can't do pay-per-views and television. And so it's not restraining somebody. It's like ROH does, maybe 20. Let's pick another company. Or TNA, ROH, either one. AIW, Chikara. They do a certain number of shows. Some are pay-per-view. Some are not. Some are television. Some are not. It's easy enough to say, hey, Director of Fun, Mike Quackenbush. Yeah, can you get me in touch with the person who's doing the booking? I'd love to come work for Chikara. I just can't do it on iPay-per-view for the next 90 days. There's nothing wrong with that. But once again, it's also coming down to Vince's ego too. Once again, it's like, I'm firing you. You're not going to cost me any money, at least for 90 days. After that, the heat will have cooled down and you can go along your merry way. Continue. I'm sorry.
Well, and the other thing you were talking about was, there are two sides to the story, and then there's the truth. Well, it's the thing that ultimately seals this in Punk's favor, and why I believe that a majority of, if not all of, what he shared was the truth, is the fact that he got a lawyer, went up against the legendary WWE legal team, and won not only the settlement that he asked for, but in his words, a whole lot more.
Yep.
Vince's legal team does not lose. That's not what they're paid for. So for him to get that kind of a settlement, we don't know what it is, because that's the one thing, terms of the settlement are not to be disclosed, but to have it acknowledged that he got everything he wanted and more really speaks volumes to, did Punk have him over the barrel with the possibility of medical malpractice, or what else did he have that was shared within those courtrooms that nobody's ever going to see? It's going to do a lot of damage to WWE in the long run. You're probably going to hear the rumors of wrestling unions pop up again, but those will disappear just as quickly as they come back, as they are spread out there.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to bring a spotlight on the industry, and possibly a review of the whole independent contractor status that WWE employs their wrestlers on, and maybe have to change it to the fact that these are employees, because if they were independent contractors, they could go and do other shows if they wanted to, on TV, on pay-per-view, whatever. But because they're forbidden from doing that, that pretty much eliminates the whole independent contractor argument. So I would expect probably in the next couple of years, especially as Vince may start to lose some of his influence, and younger people that have more of a finger on the pulse of the industry that's going on, you're going to start seeing a lot of those changes that need to be made in this industry to protect their workers. Because otherwise, after a while, there is going to be no industry, because no one's going to want to work in an industry where serious injury can happen at any time, and you could just be thrown into the garbage heap like yesterday's news.
MaBo, doors open. Come on in.
I'm at my house.
You know what I mean.
Well, I mean, Tedador there brings up, he makes a lot of good points. I mean, I have to agree. It's just, we all want to know what was in those, the terms and conditions of the settlement and everything, but for Punk to sit there and say, it's like, like Ted said, he got all that and more. I want to know what the and more was.
Naked pictures of Stephanie.
It was probably getting rid of that ridiculous 1 year no compete clause and a few other things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
If you noticed, there was that period where his merchandise was put back on WWE Shop. That way, so WWE could, they could liquidize his merchandise and pay him the royalties that they owed him. Because that's another thing too. They tried to claim retroactive breach. If you quit work on the 3rd, you have to be told on the 4th that you're in breach of contract. You can't be told 4 months after the fact that, we found you in breach 4 months ago.
Right.
That doesn't work.
Right. MaBo, continue.
Oh, no, that's it.
Well, also, yeah, I mean, I'm of that ilk as well. It's like, if you're going to do something to follow the letter of the law, you have to cover your ass from square one. You can't go back and sit back and say hindsight's 20/20. Guess what? Hindsight's got just as much of a slanted perspective as it does at the moment. You just got to be intelligent enough and articulate enough as far as the way that you set things up to where it's like, yeah, this person just walked out. I'd have a registered letter on their front porch the next morning going, you are in breach of contract. Not waiting. Not trying to see is like, okay, look, I want to settle this like gentlemen. I want to settle this like professionals. Guess what? Screw professionalism. Because the simple fact of life, you walked out. And if you have this agreement in place, you're in violation of this agreement. Therefore, guess what? From the time that you leave, I don't have to pay you royalties. I don't have to do this and I don't have to do that because you're in breach of contract on your side. I'm just solidifying the fact that the contract's null on my side. And then we have a way to settle this thing one way or the other. Now,
but see, there's the sticking point, though, of the fact that he essentially could have been dead. And putting his health and well-being in jeopardy, that may supersede all the point A and point B. That's a pretty heavy thing to have hanging over your head.
Yeah, but but death is against company policy.
Oh, I'd tell that to Owen.
Well, he violated company policy. Damn it! May he rest in peace.
Yes.
And
I feel bad for even invoking his name.
I know, I do too, but by the same token, it was good timing on that one. We'll probably get criticized in hate mail. Send all hate mail to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, because as you're figuring out the rest of the address, I'm already getting in touch with my favorite person on Fox TV, Judge Janine Pirro, and she and I are going to have lunch and talk about you. That woman is a badass. Plain and simple. But, I'm going to throw this one out there as we're going 25 after the hour on this Sunday night edition, Beyond Ringside Live. Fast Eddie Layne, Mark MaBo Bowman, Ted Guinness, the voice. Based on what you've seen on WWE programming, based on the characterizations and the storylines, and this is going to be a hard question for a 4-minute balance. Maybe I'm going to hit you first.
No!
Is Vince McMahon genuinely out of touch with the public now?
I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say he's 100%. I mean, to me, Vince, he's always been a little aloof when it comes to the public. I mean, look at what happened, at the beginning of the Monday Night Wars. He was still spitting out cartoon characters when WCW started getting quote-unquote real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's always been a little out of touch, and I think it's his yes men that he surrounds himself with that kind of keep him tethered.
Right.
But I don't know. I would just say with old age and now that, Trips has kind of stepped up, and you've got some other people that are stepping up. I'm not going to say he's. It's really kind of a shaky thing to say, because I could sit there and say, yeah, he's out of touch, but he could turn around and prove me wrong, tonight on the pay-per-view or tomorrow on Raw. But I mean, he's got maybe one finger wrapped around it. Wrapped on, holding onto that ledge, so to speak, and then, he's pulling the cliffhanger there. He doesn't have much.
Kind of like American Ninja at the end, right?
Yeah, he's climbing up. He's climbing up the side of it, and he's holding on by two fingers.
If that much. Ted?
Yeah.
Same question.
Yeah, and I'll make it much shorter. I mean, just look at what WWE has put out there, with the exception of the Survivor Series, which I thought was an absolutely tremendous show. But Raw, SmackDown, comparing what they're putting out on the top shows, and then to see what they did with NXT on Thursday, with Triple H pretty much being in charge of that show. Yeah, Vince is out of touch, because he has an old school mentality of how things used to work, so they should still work. And anything outside of his comfort zone, he doesn't want to go to. That's why John Cena has been on top for 246 years. And he's starting to get the Hulk Hogan, please turn heel heat, because he just keeps going to the same thing over and over again. And what I think he's lost touch with is that people like realism, people like change, people like dynamic characters, and people like to, have the expectation of anything can happen. And right now you don't get that on Raw and SmackDown. You get that in spades in NXT.
Amen. And actually,
I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Finn Balor entrance yet.
Ooh.
I know I was talking. Oh my God! If Vince McMahon does not look at that tape and see $1 million checks being printed in front of his eyes, there's your proof that he's out of touch. Because, my God, that would... Imagine that at the main event of WrestleMania. Money.
Money. And MaBo says...
Money?
There you go. Trifecta. There you go. I was waiting to see.
I mean, like, I was kind of going through everything, reading, right before the start of the Takeover. And look, first of all, they got to stop using Takeover and then subtitles, like a subtitle underneath it. It's just getting weird. I don't even get our Revolution. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but they said that Finn Balor had a surprise, and I was sitting there thinking, oh God, don't say he's going to turn and team with the Ascension. And I was like, well, the Ascension's about to get called up to SmackDown, and I was like, I wonder if they're going to let him do his war paint. And then when he came out in his war paint, oh my goodness, he was rocking the Carnage, because he's known for several of them: Carnage, Venom, Zombie. I was like, I was so excited to see that, because that was something that only fans of his Japanese work have seen. And I hate that they said over, that I've read the spoilers for the next set of tapings that he wasn't wearing it, that it's only going to be a special occasion thing.
Good.
That sucks, because that definitely makes him stand out. Without it, he's still a great, athlete, but you want to talk about making a statement and standing out. If he swapped it up, kind of like how Goldust will swap his up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not face paint. That is, like, face, neck, and chest, so to speak.
Yeah, but Goldust's been stuck on the Darth Maul thing way too long. It's time for a change.
Yeah, it is a little bit, and if you saw the thing I tagged you in, where it was, ask someone to name the wrestlers, they actually tagged Goldust
I saw that.
as Gold Darth Maul.
Yeah, Gold Darth Maul.
But, I mean, I loved it. I was so excited to see that.
Ted, real quick, can you hang through one more segment, or have you got to run?
I got to run.
Go ahead and do shameless plugs real quick.
Follow me on Twitter at Ted Guinness. Read my column, support indie wrestling, and all the fun programming on Beyond Ringside.
Folks, hang with us. Going to a quick one. We'll be back. The prediction round is right around the corner, right here on Beyond Ringside Live.
This is Awesome Austin Creed, the smartest man in this industry called pro wrestling, the valedictorian of this business. You are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Darrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside, and you are a better person for it. Trust me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smark Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Bob Allen, co-author of Gordon Soley's Something Left Behind and the Soley Chronicles, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Bad Brad Armstrong, part of the famous Armstrong family of professional wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, everyone. This is the Cause, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
All right. Special thanks to Ted Guinness for coming on board this evening. The home run round is underway. TLC pre-show going on right now. The New Day taking on Golden Stardust, and I think that Cody is channeling his inner Green Lantern. Agree or disagree, MaBo?
Sorry, I'm picking scabs off my penis.
Stop it!
What?
Dude,
You're
that
right.
was just
You're
bad.
right, I shouldn't get it. That might cause an infection.
Stop. Oh. Well, thank you to the Catholic contingent for listening this afternoon and the Jewish contingent for listening this afternoon. We hate to see you go. And
Well, I am.
whatever, the jazz singer.
But no. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's bad though is the way Eddie is wincing. That's the wince of someone who's been through.
No, that's the wince of somebody who's cringing at the fact that you just said you're picking scabs off your you know what, you hoo-ha for brains.
I don't know. Oh goodness.
Stop. Just stop.
No. I was watching Big E throw Kofi over the top rope.
Oh, okay.
Not everything is about weed, penis, and fart jokes with me, Eddie. I do watch product from time to time.
You should smoke product from time to time. I think I'm maybe about 11 seconds behind you because he just vaulted Kofi over the ropes on my feed.
And I think Stardust just kicked Big E in the nuts.
There you go.
Okay, are you watching it?
No, I'm getting ready to do the match order because guess what? We're in predictions round.
Well, turn around. I need to see if he kicked him in the nuts.
Let it.
Oh, 'cause it looked like he was laying on his back and it looked like a straight kick to the ding dang.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh God! Did he just step on his face?
All right. Nikki Bella, AJ Lee, Divas title. Go with it.
I thought you said Mickey Mouse.
Same freaking thing.
I don't know. I think some say AJ was hinting at saying goodbye during her acceptance speech for the Slammy, like that was her farewell speech. But I don't know. I hate saying this because it kills me to say it, but I'm going to have to say Nikki's going to win.
Yeah, I know. Tricky Nikki's I'm going to win. And I really got to sit back and say this. AJ Lee could have easily been a part to make it a three-way dance between Charlotte, AJ, and Sasha Banks at NXT. Nikki Bella could never effing never carry a match like that on her best day.
And that's why, AJ mentioned, the names like Emma, like Paige, like Charlotte, like Sasha, like Bayley. That's why I think she mentioned Charlotte. That's why AJ mentioned that, because she knows that is the future of the Divas division in WWE, as long as WWE doesn't screw it up. Every woman down there, from Becky Lynch to Bayley to to Sasha Banks, even Alexa Bliss, I would say they are more equipped to be on TV than 9/10 of the Divas locker room, with the exception of Paige, Emma, AJ, and Natalya.
Right.
The jury's still out on Naomi. Like, she has it, but she doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, but all those other bubble-chested, bubble-headed, just lingerie models, no.
That's why when I saw the match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, NXT TakeOver Our Evolution, faith was restored to me for 5 minutes after all the way through. A, they gave them time to work. B, they can work. Damn, can they go? I mean, and think about it like this. How much did you smile when the crowd was chanting, A, this is wrestling, and B, at the end of the match, that was awesome.
Oh, I mean, you know, it's kind of like these days. It's kind of almost an afterthought that there can be good and even great women's wrestling on TV.
Right.
You know, we used to have it with the knockouts on Impact.
Right.
You know, back in the day before Hogan and Ferrara and Bubba the Love Sponge and whoever. So it's almost like you don't want to believe that it can happen. You know? But, you know, for those women to get their just desserts, so to speak, to get that acknowledgement, that's, you know, and I've always said the NXT crowd is that perfect combination of like smart indie crowd
and WWE faithful.
Huh?
And WWE faithful.
Exactly. It's like, you know, they've got that perfect kind of combination. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's just for them to show their appreciation. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but I would put it almost on par with maybe getting a "This Is Wrestling" chant from, you know, like a Philly crowd or a New York crowd.
Right.
Because you know those are the toughest critics you can ever have in pro wrestling.
No kidding. Philly, Jersey, Chicago.
I don't know so much about Chicago, but I would definitely say Philly and New York. Those are the two toughest crowds to have to work in front of.
I'll agree.
And I'm not, and I, you know what I'm saying, I'm not even I've never had a match, never worked a match, nothing. Most I've done is commentate, and you know they usually don't hear you commentating. So for me to sit there and be like, I would be scared crapless to apply my trade in front of, you know, one of those crowds.
Yeah.
You know, that's the WWE's version of a Philly crowd.
Yeah.
Is the
NXT group.
Yeah, the NXT Full Sail group. So for them to sit there and give those women props, but that's the other thing though, is they know these women. They appreciate these women. They know these women can put on a good match, can tell a good story. So, you know, they're not surprised that they could do it, but at the same time, you know, when they show their respect, you know it's pure genuine.
I've got to segue for a hot second because I finally got a chance to watch start to finish the Scrap Iron Adam Pearce Mikey O'Shea cage match from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as aired on MAV TV this week. Hell of a match. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Actually, this week's episode, I'm going to come back to this in a minute, but I'm just going to say I actually sat here and watched it. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is the factor of way this late in the match, Mikey O'Shea no-sold a Pearce piledriver. Just popped right back up like Sting used to in the first part of the match. Yeah. That late in the match, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. But I see why. I really don't see why they did it. Why he just popped right back up to no-sell it. It's like, this late in the match has gone 20 minutes. You're going to take a pile driver and bounce right back up? Yeah, you don't need Viagra for that either? Sure, go ahead.
Well, he probably had Hulkamania. He had O'Shea Mania running wild through him, brother.
Probably. Unfortunately, I see Nikki Bella holding on to the Divas title, which actually in my book is just, you know, if it was the women's title.
How the hell did we get all the way? I forgot we were doing predictions.
Yeah, I know.
How the hell did we get all the way on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood?
Because you'd hit the end of a sentence and the match had just wrapped up with Mikey O'Shea's hand going up in the air by the ref for the victory at the end of the cage match. And you got it on DVR, right?
Huh?
You DVR'd the show, right?
I already watched it.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for your input, and I thought for sure I thought for sure he'd watch it by now.
Eddie, you know. Oh, wow. Way to go, Big E.
Missed it.
You missed it? Okay, basically, you know, Big E has the big ending or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they have they did like a modified version where Kofi comes off, I guess, with like a double axe handle or something. Anyway, Big E was not the legal man. He went to cover Stardust, and Kofi had to tap him on the shoulder and go, no, it's me, and then cover him. I'm telling you, just go back and watch it. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, they just showed the replay on my side.
Okay, so are you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Way to go, Big E.
And for the record, for those who listen to Saturday Showcase, I am 1-0 right now because I said they painted themselves into the corner. New Day had to go over, and I was right. Of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. That's their flavor of the week right now is the New Day. So it's not of Joaquin and God, what was on there? Jamaican Joe? What'd they call him?
The New Day, the New Day Nation.
No. On that sheet.
I don't know.
That tagged you. And they called Kofi. The guy was like, I guess his name's Joaquin.
There you go. Let's run them down real quick.
We already started.
Yeah, I know. And since the tag team match was actually on the network, lo and behold, we can't go back for that one. But I did make that call yesterday.
I'm picking New Day.
Okay, good choice. Guess what? They reversed the decision. Stardust won. Damn. United States Championship, Rusev versus Swagger.
Oh, Rusev. And I like how there's a potential rumor that the European title may be brought back.
That would be a beautiful thing.
I mean, Lana posted a picture of the European title with the new WWE logo on it, but then quickly deleted it from her Twitter account.
Twitter feed, yeah.
So maybe after that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Rusev goes over tonight, and then they rename it and bring back the old European title.
I'm gonna sit back and say Swagger wins by disqualification.
I don't know. If Zeb shows up, then I'm going with Swagger, winning by a DQ count out, whatever. Zeb doesn't show up, which, by the way, I heard he's had surgery recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, Rusev's walking out with the title.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, that's why I said DQ.
Yeah, well, yeah, they could because he did lose the last time. So
ladder match: Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler, IC title.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a wicked ass match right there. That is going to just be phenomenal. That's all I can say. But I'm going to say Luke Harper still holds on to the title.
I'm going to say Harper holds on to the title because of excessive outside interference.
I'm just going to say, I don't know about that, but I'm just going to say that so they can maybe move it on to Harper Rowan for the title or something. I don't know. But as much as and hopefully this means that Dolph won't be pigeonholed as just an IC guy anymore.
Right.
They could start moving him up into the main event title run shot.
A steel stairs match. Come on. Thank God this ain't a $44.95 pay-per-view.
Oh, God.
I mean, I have guarded optimism for Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler only because Dolph Ziggler can make anybody look good. Dolph Ziggler could make the corpse at Weekend with Bernie's look good. I have a little bit of faith in the factor of Rusev Swagger because I think these two can work well together, and they've shown it in the past that they can put on a hell of a match. But to make steel stairs an official stipulation for this pay-per-view, that is inane, and it just once again shows me how out of touch somebody is. Why not just say it's a freaking anything goes match? You know, kind of like a TLC match is anyway.
Well, here's my thing. When you add stairs to a TLC, does that not become Full Metal Mayhem?
Yes, it does.
So is the WWE now stealing from TNA?
Yes.
because that's sure as hell what it seems like.
Yes.
I mean, to steal your phrase, agree or disagree.
Agree. Who do you think's going over? Show or Rowan?
I'm going to go with Rowan because he doesn't like bullies, which technically means he doesn't like Ryback. But
there you go.
Yeah, I don't know, because they're getting behind Rowan, so I think this would be Big Show's way of kind of maybe doing the honors for another, for the next generation of big man.
Right.
So I'm gonna say Rowan.
Based on that last part right there, I will agree with you. It could be Big Show actually doing the honors for another big man.
Yeah.
Of course, he's done the honors with Kelly, and you saw how that ended up.
You mean, yeah, ended up with him being future endeavored.
Yeah. Miz and Mizdow versus the Ooh and the So's tag team title match.
Porn star Larry and porn star Jerry versus the Aztec Twins.
There you go.
I mean, Miz and Mizdow. It's definitely gonna be Miz and Mizdow, mainly because of Mizdow.
And here's the fun part: Naomi's gonna swerve. It's gonna be because of her It's gonna be because of something she does.
You think?
I have a gut feeling on this one. Naomi will be involved.
I am inclined to agree with you 100%.
Either that or Naomi comes out and Cameron comes out behind her to interfere on behalf of Miz and Mizdow.
And then we're going to have probably a six person tomorrow night.
Probably.
But
that
Cameron
way
hasn't been on TV lately.
That way they can rekindle Cameron versus Naomi.
Well, that and have you seen that where they said Naomi's not on next season's Total Divas, and she even tweeted, she was like, "No, I'm not going to be on there, and it's not my choice."
She should never have said it's not my choice.
Huh?
She should never have said it's not my choice.
Well, that's what she put on there.
Oh well, that's her fault.
Yeah, if there's some kind of swerve going to happen tonight or maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. Maybe the Usos win by disqualification. They set up a rematch tomorrow night, and Naomi swerves them. Naomi's going to... I have a feeling, though, somehow, some way, Naomi's going to end up costing them the match tonight or tomorrow night.
I think it's going to be tonight. I think Miz and Mizdow retain because of outside interference from Naomi.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
And here's the funny part. I agree with Seth Green from Monday night on the Slammy Awards. Mizdow is flat out an A-lister in my book right now.
No, he is. He's amazing.
I mean, think about it. This man has made chicken salad out of chicken fecal matter. In a huge
fecal matter being
what creative's given him.
Well, no, remember he was doing the various impressions and stuff.
I know.
Before.
And he made them look good.
Well, see, I have a feeling though that didn't come from creative. Something tells me that was him.
Well, Sandow has just blown it up, has just knocked it out of the park in my book. I mean, everything this guy has done has been great. The fans have connected with him. It's just because of the fact that Vince McMahon and the creative team doesn't have a freaking clue how to continue to write for somebody that actually has acting ability and talent is the fact of where we are right now. And the fact that Mizdow, I mean, here's the trick about it. Mizdow has never been more popular than he is right now. I mean, he has been as popular, but never been more popular. Miz has never had this much heat on him, period. So it's because of Catch a Rising Star syndrome on this one. They've latched Miz onto Mizdow with the stunt double, and the fact that Damian has just blown it out of the water in a good way. That's why Miz is getting so much heat right now. It's because Sandow's so freaking popular.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, and lo and behold, they gave him the stunt double slammy. That was hilarious. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
On SmackDown especially. I mean, and SmackDown, look, the Slammies are one of those gimme shows. It's kind of like old school Raw. It's a gimme show. But I'm sorry, SmackDown was just better this week. Even with Seth Green on Raw. I enjoyed Seth Green's performance. What about you?
Oh, yeah.
Kane versus Ryback in a chairs match.
I'm gonna say Kane because he's just taking too much crap from Ryback.
Okay. I'll go with that.
I'm going to say, yeah, because, I mean, look, he's been on the losing end.
Too much.
Yeah, so.
And Ryback
besides, I think, honestly, I think he needs to be taken down a peg or two. Ryback.
Yeah. You know, they still have it live on pay-per-view, but I don't know of a pay-per-view distributor that's actually carrying them domestically in the lower 48. And speaking of, is the WWE Network available in Hawaii yet? We'll talk about that later. I'm going to agree. Sentimental purposes, I'm picking with my heart and not with my head. I'm going to say Kane goes over in this one. Cena, Rollins. If Cena loses, he loses his spot as number one contender. MaBo, your thoughts?
I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm watching. Tomsy just shared a video on my timeline. Somebody made Rusev and Brock Lesnar a tag team on 2K15.
Yeah.
And have them coming out to the Funkadactyl's entrance.
God.
It is hilarious. Oh my God, people.
Okay, let's take it home. Cena versus Rollins.
Cena.
Mr. Pay-Per-View does it again, huh?
Well, I mean, I just don't see them logically, logically taking the spot away from Cena. I just don't.
Remember,
I don't see
Reigns
that,
is right
taking
around
that
the corner.
Spot.
Reigns is right around the corner.
Yeah, but I mean, then what are they going to do about the number one contender? I mean, of course, it gives Brock yet another reason to not be, to not compete at a pay-per-view.
Yep, you don't have anybody for me.
Yeah.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. The smartest thing they could do, granted the Royal Rumble is 7 weeks away right now, just like the anniversary episode or for Beyond Ringside Live. And that's how I always remember it's Rumble weekend. And we're actually going to be in a multiple location station that weekend because I'm planning to be in Orlando. Cosper is going to be producing, and everybody's going to be in different spots on the 25th. So, say what?
What you going to Orlando for?
Vintage Wrestling Wrestle Brawl 6.
Oh, well, good luck.
You're scattering. I don't know if it's your phone line battery or if it's the connection.
Nothing on my end.
It may just be Skype getting ready to crash on me, so let me go ahead and do this. Ambrose, Wyatt, TLC match.
You forgot the most important match.
No, I didn't. I'm trying to get it in there real quick.
Bray. I'm going Bray since he lost to Ambrose last time. I think this is going to be part 2 of the rubber match.
Okay. From that vantage point, yeah, there's a part of me that genuinely wants to agree with this, but unfortunately, I'm going to sit back and say I honestly think they're going to put Ambrose over just to seal everything up right now and let him move on to other things.
I don't because I still think this feud still has legs. I mean, look what it's turning out such amazing things. It still has legs, man.
Yeah, but other than the Hell in a Cell match, TLC has got to be the ultimate blow-off.
No, last man standing.
Well, tell you what, let's take it home real quick. Last call, and you're still scrambling, so make it short.
Well, if I'm scrambling,
there you are.
I just don't really have well, I guess my last call would be, if you haven't yet watched Takeover, NXT Takeover, it's an amazing show. Those guys did such an amazing job. So definitely check. NXT is worth the $9.99 a month for the network.
I'll agree. It has been a good week to be a wrestling fan. Kind of like a few weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, it was a great weekend to be an MMA fan. This week was a great week to be a wrestling fan. With Championship Wrestling from Hollywood turning out a great episode. Final Battle last week. Raw was entertaining at best. It had some good moments in it. It had a great moment in it, and it had some humdrum moments in it. Seth Green helped make that show. Jerry Lawler did a great job on the as the co-host of it. And
I do love the comment where Jamie got excited and Lawler was like, "Don't have a stroke," and he's like, "That's your gimmick."
I mean, and we'll go from there. ROH TV last night. God, Takeover was phenomenal.
No, couldn't ask for a better show.
Man, you could ask creative to actually give time to people on the main roster. And I know you wanted to pop that one, so I decided to do it for you since your phone's acting up again.
Okay.
You had the story in front of you, right?
Oh, no. it's over on the other side of the bed.
Okay. Folks,
long story short, the main roster is ticked off at NXT locker room for putting on a heck of a show. And I heard that the everybody on the NXT roster has been suspended for 30 days for having been tested positive for performance-enhancing talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, Owens and Zayn have been suspended for 60. They've had so much. They found so much talent inside of them. So, but it's like you said. You know what? Main roster, quit your bitching and step up.
I don't just blame the main roster. I blame creative. I blame the producer and the director for saying you get 8 minutes, you get 6 minutes, you get 9 minutes. No, give them time to put on a damn good match. You've got the talent on the roster. Use it. Quit doing the namby-pamby, horse nuts, bull stinking crap and concentrate on your in-ring product, Vince. That is where you are out of touch. Hunter's trying to smack you in the head and say, dude, you're losing your mind. Watch what we did and see the reaction. And Vince is going, well, I've still got a better product. This is the main roster. This is Raw. Well, guess what? A lot of people don't eat things when it's raw because it doesn't digest well.
Yeah, but I like to eat something raw.
Sushi and leave it at that.
No, but it does smell fishy.
There you go. Just had to do it, didn't you?
Yeah.
That would be MaBo, kids. That's our MaBo. Real quick, do you want to do shameless plugs?
Nah, let's just go because I'm about to eat some chicken.
7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. That means the TLC live event on the WWE Network is kicking off right now. Until next time, for the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. The To Be Determined show, Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Central. Go out and support your local independent wrestling. And Paul Lee has a vagina.
And let me go ahead and do this. I meant to say this at the first part of the show. Wrestle Rage with Smart Rage and Stan will not be broadcasting this evening. Corey's getting ready to go out of town. Stan's on the hiatus. Just spoke with the Reverend Dan Wilson. He's going to take a hiatus as well. He's had a lot going on, and I completely understand, brother. So the Midnight Black Mass will return next week as well. Live programming continues Tuesday the 16th with Back to Basics going live at 8 p.m. Central Time. Join me, and you never know, we're going to have some surprises.
And who knows? Now that my work schedule's changed, I might be showing up on Tuesday nights.
We'll talk about that. I've already
what?
I've already got 3 interviews lined up.
Well, then how do you know I don't want to be part of the interviews? Jerk?
Say what? Say what?
I said, how do you know I don't want to be part of the interviews, you jerk?
Well, because I'm a jerk and I know these things.
See, you jerk.
There you go. Until next time.
Eddie's a jerk.
Thank you very much. For Mark MaBo Bowman.
Eddie's still a jerk.
Check out BeyondRingside.com for all upcoming show information. This is Fast Eddie Layne saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abbassina, au revoir. And until we meet again, I'm a jerk, and aloha means bye-bye.